Over the past few years, Russia has witnessed a growing trend of immigration, with increasing numbers of Russians choosing to leave the country in search of better opportunities and a more stable future abroad. While there are a number of factors driving this trend, one of the key drivers is the increasing twisted and authoritarian mindset of Russian President Vladimir Putin. In today's video, we'll be showing you how Putin's twisted mind forces Russian people to flee without further ado. Let's begin. Putin's twisted mindset is characterized by a willingness to use force and intimidation to maintain power and control over the Russian people. Under his leadership, the country has been seeing a crackdown on political opposition, freedom of expression, and civil society all at the same time, as well as a disregard for human rights and the rule of law. This has created a situation where many Russians feel unsafe and powerless, with limited opportunities for economic and social advancement. As a result, increasing numbers of people are choosing to leave the country in search of better opportunities and more stable future abroad. One of the key factors driving this trend is a lack of economic opportunities and social mobility in Russia itself. Despite its vast natural resources and highly skilled workforce, Russia has struggled in recent years to generate sustained economic growth and create new jobs. Moreover, the country's economy is heavily dependent on natural resource exports, making it vulnerable to fluctuations in global commodity prices. This has led to a situation where many Russians feel trapped in low-paying, low-skilled jobs with little prospect for advancement or personal fulfillment. At the same time, Putin's regime has made it increasingly difficult for entrepreneurs and small business owners to operate freely in the country. Over the past few years, there have been numerous reports of government crackdowns on independent media outlets, NGOs, and civil society organizations, as well as arrest of human rights figures and opposition figures and activists. This has created a climate of fear and uncertainty, with many people feeling that they're not safe to express their opinions or pursue their dreams in Russia. As a result, many are choosing to leave the country in search of more freedom and better opportunities ahead. Another factor driving immigration from Russia is the country's deteriorating social and political climate. Under Putin's leadership, the country has seen a resurgence of nationalism and xenophobia, as well as growing social and economic inequalities. Moreover, the government has been accused of using propaganda, disinformation, and censorship to manipulate public opinion and suppress dissent. This has created a situation where many Russians feel isolated and disillusioned, with little trust in the political system or the media. As a result, many are choosing to leave the country in search of more open and tolerant societies, where they can feel safe and valued as individuals. Finally, Putin's twisted mindset is also having a detrimental impact on Russia's international reputation and global standing. Despite its size and strategic importance, Russia is increasingly seen as an authoritarian and unpredictable regime, with limited respect for the rule of law or human rights. This has led to growing tensions with other countries, as well as a decline in foreign investment and economic cooperation. Moreover, Putin's aggressive foreign policy, including the annexation of Crimea and military intervention in Syria, has further damaged Russia's international reputation and created a situation where many Russians feel increasingly isolated from the rest of the world. One of the key challenges facing Russia is the need to diversify its economy and reduce its dependence on natural resources. While the country has made some progress in this area, with a growing focus on innovation and tech, there's still a long way to go. Moreover, the government's authoritarian mindset and reluctance to embrace political and economic reforms are hindering the process in this area. Putin's regime has shown little interest in promoting greater economic and political liberalization, preferring instead to maintain tight control over the country's resources and political institutions. This has created a situation where many entrepreneurs and innovators feel frustrated and marginalized, with limited opportunities to develop their own ideas and contribute to the country's economic growth. Another challenge facing Russia is the need to address growing social and economic inequality. While the country's GDP has grown in recent years, much of this growth has been concentrated in the hands of small elites, with little benefit for the broader population. Moreover, the government's efforts to address this issue have been half-hearted, with limited investments in education, healthcare, and social welfare programs all being a result. As a result, many Russians feel that they are being left behind, with limited opportunities for social or economic mobility. Finally, Putin's twisted mindset is also having a detrimental impact on Russia's international relations. While the country remains an important player on the global stage, its aggressive foreign policy and disregard for international norms and rules have alienated many countries and damaged its reputation as a responsible and reliable partner. Moreover, the government's continued support for authoritarian regimes and disregard for human rights and democratic values has undermined its credibility as a defender of the international order. This has created a situation where many Russians feel increasingly isolated from the rest of the world, with limited opportunities for international cooperation and collaboration. As a result, many are choosing to leave the country in search of more open and tolerant societies, where they can feel valued and respected as individuals. One of the key factors contributing to the exodus of Russian citizens from their homeland is the government's ongoing crackdown on civil society and political opposition. These tactics have included arbitrary arrest, trumped-up charges, intimidation, and harassment of political opponents, as well as the use of state-controlled media to spread disinformation and propaganda. As a result, many Russians feel that their basic freedoms and human rights have been eroded, with limited opportunities to express their particular views or to participate in the political process. This is creating a situation where many people feel increasingly frustrated and disillusioned with the government and are choosing to leave the country in search of more open and democratic societies where they can enjoy greater freedom and opportunities. Another factor contributing to the exodus of Russian citizens is the country's struggling economy. Despite its vast natural resources and highly educated population, Russia has struggled to achieve sustained economic growth in recent years, due in part to the government's ongoing reliance on state-owned enterprises and its limited support for small and medium-sized businesses. This has created a situation where many young and talented professionals feel that they have limited opportunities for professional growth and advancement, and are choosing to leave the country in search of more vibrant and dynamic economies where they can pursue their ambitions and achieve their full potential. In addition, many people are also leaving Russia due to concerns about the country's deteriorating social and cultural environment. In recent years, the government has taken a number of steps to promote conservative values and limit freedom of expression and cultural diversity, including the passage of laws banning so-called gay propaganda and restricting freedom of speech online. This has created a situation where many people, particularly those from marginalized communities, feel increasingly vulnerable and marginalized and are choosing to leave the country in search of more tolerant and inclusive societies where they can feel valued and respected as individuals. Putin's twisted mindset is having a profound impact on the lives of ordinary Russians, forcing increasing numbers to flee the country in search of better opportunities and a more stable future abroad. While the challenges facing the country are in fact significant, there is still hope that more open and tolerant political environment combined with greater economic and social opportunities could help to stem the tide of emigration and create a more prosperous and vibrant future for Russia and its people. However, this will require a fundamental shift in the country's political priorities away from authoritarianism and toward greater democracy, transparency, and respect for human rights. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content just like this here. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.